سفیر پاکستان آپ کے جذبوں کا ترجمان، وطن سے دور وطن کی آواز اور آپ کی پہچان، سفیر پاکستان۔
Pakistan will need our help to rebuild.
Between Pakistan and the United States, this is the time to act and to act jointly.
Safir Pakistan has come a long way in bringing the Pakistani American community together.
Safir Pakistan is doing a great job.
Thank you, Safir Pakistan, for the amazing work that you do.
The media plays a central role.
He performs incredible duties to the community of Pakistanis in America.
سماجی، ثقافتی، اسلامی،
Safir Pakistan for this honor.
Safir Pakistan has done tremendous work.
I'd like to thank Waqar Ali Khan and Safir Pakistan.
I truly am very thankful for Safir Pakistan and Waqar Saab.
Safir Pakistan all the best.
ہر جگہ ہر پل آپ کا اپنا سفیر پاکستان نظر آتا ہے۔ بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم، السلام علیکم ناظرین، آپ کا میزبان وقار علی خان پروگرام سفیر پاکستان کے ساتھ حاضر خدمت ہے۔ کئی ایک کیسے مزاج ہیں، مجھے امید ہے کہ پروگرام آپ پابندی سے دیکھ رہے ہوں گے اور اپنے ساتھیوں، دوستوں، فیملی کو بھی دیکھنے کی تلقین کر رہے ہوں گے، کیونکہ یہ پروگرام ہی کچھ ایسا ہی ہے، کیونکہ اس میں ہم لے کے آتے ہیں مختلف سٹوریز، مختلف کہانیاں، مختلف واقعات اور ایسے انٹرویوز لے کے آتے ہیں جس سے نصیحت ملے اور انسپریشن ہو آپ کی فیملی کو، یوتھ کو۔ سفیر پاکستان آپ کا اپنا پلیٹ فارم ہے، آپ کی اپنی آواز ہے اور آپ کی اپنی پہچان بھی ہے، اور آف کورس رابطوں کا ایک نام سفیر پاکستان وطن سے دور وطن کی مہک لیے گاؤں گاؤں، شہر شہر یہ گھومتا ہے اور آپ سے ملاقاتیں بھی کرتا ہے۔ ناظرین، سب سے پہلے آپ کو میں نئے سال کی بھرپور مبارکباد پیش کرتا ہوں اپنے سٹاف کی جانب سے، جیو کی جانب سے، اور مجھے امید ہے کہ انشاءاللہ 2012 بہت اچھا سال گزرے گا اور پاکستان میں ایک بہت بڑی تبدیلی لے کر آئے گا جس سے ملک ترقی کی راہ پہ گامزن ہوگا۔ ناظرین، نئے سال کے موقع پہ یہاں پہ اہلے میں بہت اچھے پروگرام ہوئے۔ آف کورس نیا سال لوگوں نے بڑے جوش سے منایا اور دعائیں مانگی کہ اے اللہ یہ سال بہتری کا، صحت کا گزرے۔ ناظرین، آج کے پروگرام میں ہم کچھ ایسے ایشوز لے کر آ رہے ہیں جو کہ ڈسکس ہوئے تھے شکاگو کے اندر، اور یہ پروگرام آرگنائز کیا تھا ہمارے کونسل جنرل جناب ظہیر خان صاحب نے، جو کہ شکاگو کے کونسل جنرل ہیں، بڑے ایکٹیو ہیں، بڑے ماشاءاللہ وائبرنٹس ہیں اور کمیونٹی کو متحد رکھنے میں یہ اہم اور کلیدی کردار ادا کر رہے ہیں۔ تو وہ آج کی رپورٹ شامل ہے۔ اٹس ویری اولڈ رپورٹ بٹ اٹس ویری ورتھ، کیونکہ اس میں کافی لوگوں نے اپنے انٹرویوز دیے ہیں، کچھ لوگوں نے اپنے خیالات کا اظہار کیا ہے حالات کو دیکھتے ہوئے، تو یہ پروگرام آج ہم نے شامل کیا ہے اس میں۔ اس کے علاوہ آف کورس لوکل گلوبل میں بہت کچھ شامل ہے، اور یہ رپورٹ کچھ ڈیلس سے بھی ہے اور کچھ رپورٹس لاس اینجلس ہیں۔ تو آئیے دیکھتے ہیں پروگرام کی پہلے ہائی لائٹس، اس کے بعد آپ کو لے جائیں گے پروگرام میں تفصیل سے۔ ناظرین، تو آپ دیکھ رہے تھے پروگرام کی ہائی لائٹس، تو یہ ہے آج پروگرام کی ترتیب و پیشکش۔ ناظرین، تو آئیے آپ کو لیے چلتے ہیں شکاگو۔ کہتے ہیں ہواؤں کا شہر ہے، یہ سرد ہواؤں کا شہر ہے، جوشیلے اور بہت ہی ڈیڈیکیٹڈ پاکستانیوں کا یہ شہر ہے۔ ملاحظہ فرمائیے یہ رپورٹ۔
We all like something special. He likes it personal. He likes a private space. He prefers it laid back. She likes a bedtime story. He likes to dream of his own. How would you like to fly with the best? Etihad Airways, the world's leading airline.
नाज़रीन, शिकागो में होने वाली यूथ कॉन्फ्रेंस जिसको कौंसल जनरल जनाब ज़हीर खान साहब ने ऑर्गेनाइज किया था, नहायत कामयाबी से हमकिनार हुई। आज के पैनल में जो कुछ ज़ेर बहस लाया गया, सफ़ीर पाकिस्तान अपने प्लेटफॉर्म से अरसे 12 साल से इस मौजू पर कई बार ज़ेर बहस ला चुका है। कौंसल जनरल ज़हीर खान ने जैसा कि कहा है कि पाकिस्तानी अमेरिकन मुख्तलिफ अमेरिका के शहरों में आबाद हैं और नहायत कामयाब हैं, उनको आगे आना चाहिए। दरअसल हुकूमती लेवल पर इन लोगों की कभी पदीराई नहीं हुई। बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर भेजने वालों को पाकिस्तान में आबाद पाकिस्तानी जानते तक नहीं हैं, लेकिन चोर, लुटेरे और गद्दार वतन अक्सर टीवी की ज़ीनत बनते हैं और हमें उन्हें बर्दाश्त करना होता है। हुकूमती अदारे अमेरिकन पाकिस्तानियों को और इन पाकिस्तानियों को टेप करने में बिल्कुल नाकाम रहे हैं। शायद नौजवानों को पता नहीं, हर स्टेट में हुकूमत के एम्बेसडर एट लार्ज मौजूद हैं, जिनका काम है कि वो पाकिस्तान की इमेज को बुलंद करें, आगे बढ़ाएं और मुल्क के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए कोशिश करें। PSA एक बेहतरीन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है और पाकिस्तान के लिए अमेरिका में बहुत काम करने की अहल है, लेकिन यूथ से हमने अप फ्रंट रहना होगा और उनको बावर कराना होगा थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्री से आते हुए बहुत ही घुटे हुए माहौल में तालीम हासिल करने और मसाइल से लड़ते हुए अपनी तालीम को मुकम्मल किया और अमेरिका जैसे एडवांस मुल्क में तरक्की और कामरानियों की हदूद को पार करते हुए बेहतरीन मिसाल कायम की। आज मुल्क तबाहाली, बर्बादी से दो चार है जो 9/11 से हुई है। हम अमेरिकन को बताने और उनको एजुकेट करने में नाकाम रहे हैं और ये वजह है कि आज अमेरिका हमसे कहता है डू मोर। ये हमारी गलती है, हमारी नाकामी है, लेकिन मैं जनाब ज़हीर खान साहब को मुबारकबाद देता हूँ कि उन्होंने इस उजाले का आगाज़ किया और मुझे उम्मीद है कि दूसरे कौंसल जनरल भी इसकी पैरवी करें।
I welcome you to the Pakistan Youth Conference being organized by the Consul General of Pakistan in Chicago and the Pakistan Student Association. I would like to ask Habiba, as a representative of the Pakistan Student Association, to now welcome you to this conference.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all on the behalf of the Pakistani Student Association to the University of Illinois at Chicago to the second Pakistani American Youth Conference. The first such conference was held in Washington, D.C. in July, and it's a great honor for the PSA at UIC to have been given this opportunity to host this conference at UIC this time. The objective of this event is to bring Pakistani American intellectuals on one platform to share their experiences in their respective fields of American life. I hope their words will inspire and encourage all of us to get involved in the American public and civil life while being a model representative of the Pakistani society. I really appreciate the presence of all the distinguished speakers who will be sharing their experiences, aspirations, and advices with regards to how to be more visible professionally in the American society.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. On behalf of faculty, staff, and students at the University of Illinois Chicago, we are excited to have you all here, and it's a great honor to host this event.
Distinguished guests, dear students, and young professionals of Pakistani American community, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. On behalf of the Consulate General of Pakistan in Chicago, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you for joining us today for what is a very important event. Today we are proud to host a youth conference entitled Embracing the American Mainstream, which aims to suggest direction to our young Pakistani Americans who have either stepped in or soon be treading into the practical life. The concept of organizing such a youth conference originates from the vision of our ambassador in the US, Mr. Hussein Haqqani. who believes that the future generation of Pakistani American can play a defining role in strengthening relations between Pakistan and the United States. A series of youth events, such as the one we are proudly hosting today, have been planned across the US. Many of you would have heard about the first youth conference that was held in Washington, D.C. in July this year. Dear friends, our community has rendered tremendous contribution in the US society, but sadly, these have gone largely unnoticed because they were either individual efforts or they were in fields with limited public recognition. Ironically, we presently have no prominent congressman, senator, governor, or mayor of Pakistani origin in the US. In this day and age, where political pressures tend to run high between the US and Pakistan, we would have been well served by having our own voice in high places. I want to acknowledge Pakistan Student Association of UAC, as well as its distinguished faculty members, Professor Ishfaq Khoka, Professor Suhail Murad, Dr. Maimuna Ehsan, and her spouse, Mr. Ehsanullah, whose cooperation and support made this event possible.
So, without further ado, what I want to do first is invite my esteemed panelists. So, Dr. Tariq Butt.
I think that the question of visibility is very important, and it is something when you look at the definition, it really means, are you able to be seen? When you are seen, then you are observed. And when you are observed, then people have perceptions, or you give them how you define yourself. So as a Pakistani American community, we have the same responsibility as individuals and as a group. So I'll tell you a little bit about why it is so important to be visible. Because in any process, if we want to be counted, as they say that we have to really make sure we are engaged, and engaged at a level that it makes a difference. Engaged at forums, engaged at issues which concern everyone. And Pakistani American community, just to give you a historical perspective, started coming in 1947. We are a very, very vibrant nation, and I take a lot of pride in being a Pakistani American. So should all of you, because I think we have a rich culture, history, and we really, really contributed a lot to the world, and we should take pride in that. And 2,500 immigrants entered the United States in 1947, just at the creation of the country. And as you know, they were students, just like a lot of young folks here. And they wanted to pursue education, which I think is of critical significance in order for you to be visible, in order for you to be successful.
First of all, you asked about visibility, and the antithesis of visibility is disappearance. And I think it really goes to the point of what do we mean by integration. I've heard the word assimilation, I've heard the word disappearance, dissolution. These are all concepts that we, I think, struggle with when we look at what it means to be integrated. I want to offer a different idea, and I think it's one which will resonate with people. I see integration as the act of both influencing and being influenced by the mainstream. And that means that we have to understand that the mainstream is not a static entity that will never change. In fact, this particular country, a country of immigrants, and it prides itself as having been a country of immigrants, is something that's constantly changing. And so it's our job as Pakistani origin people to drive some of that change to influence the outcome. And I think that here what we've got to get past is internal identity conflicts. As we have children growing up in this country, I think one of the things that they must be given is confidence about their Pakistani identity, not a lot of concern about it, especially in these dark times in terms of the relationship between this country and Pakistan.
So your first question was, is it harder to assimilate after 9/11? And I don't think it's a mystery to anyone. Yes, it is harder. However, it's much more important. And in some ways, I think it's also easier because 9/11 in some ways has given us a platform. And even though we have huge stereotypes that we have to fight, and we have a lot of things that come out in the media which we don't always agree with, the one thing that I would want to say is that everyone here in the audience, essentially, is a representative of themselves and what the truth is. And when I listen to the American mainstream, to me what that means is that it starts really with you. And it starts with your home, your community, your school, your class, be it your mosque, your neighbors. And you don't necessarily need to be sitting on a panel, or you don't necessarily need to have a CNN camera in front of you to kind of start breaking those stereotypes. And the second thing I would say is that through my own personal experience is people are hungry. People are hungry for knowledge, and they will listen.
What I have seen, and some of the PSAs in Chicagoland area are really good. You can see USC is like hosting this thing. But at the same time, when I see most of the students and most of the PSAs over here, I have seen like they have divided into groups based upon their study group, based upon like the part of the Pakistan they are from, or if they like certain things in Pakistan. So you know what, I like that part, that another friend liked that too. So that's it. This is my whole circle. So what we need to do is go beyond that. First of all, we have to unite everyone in PSA. So take it as a challenge. If you have some friend who's not part of it, just tell him, hey, you know what, we need at least 2 hours from you. Second thing what we have to do is, we actually have PSA events, we have PSA meetings, we enjoy with each other, we have like Eid festivities and all that, and that's it. We have to take it to an extra level. And that's because this is the need of the hour for especially Pakistani students in USA. What we need to do is to interact with more and more with American citizens, with American students, whoever like you're going to school with them. Invite them to your parties, invite them to your Eid festivals, invite them to like, you know, PSA things. Show them what you are.
And for me, this is all about bringing recognition to my roots, where I grew up, and that's Pakistan. Even though I was born here in the US, but I grew up in Pakistan. So now I've learned how to do everything I did, first through trial and error, and then through sheer luck. Okay, and I wish when I was a student, I had had a panel of experts to help me along the way. So you guys are very lucky here, the youth, and I will not say the elders since I'm getting into that group, that you cannot imagine for a better panel, because today we have over here experts from different fields, from law, from medicine, from business, and from government.
If you're thinking of running for election or running for public office, you got to sit down first with your family, okay, and see if you get their support. They got to be 100% behind you. Come up with a game plan and put a team together. When you say a team, you got to have a media consultant, you got to have a campaign manager, you have to have your fundraiser committee, very important, and you got to have your get the vote out committee. Now, after that, you have to see, I'm running for judge, so I can only speak for my experience. Once I did that, I said, how can I go about getting endorsements? I'm running as a judge in Cook County. Democratic primary is on March 20th, so if you're a registered voter, please come out to vote. Democratic, Cook County, there's only, well, we know, if you live here in Cook County, you know that the Democratic Party is the party that controls the politics. I happen to be a Democrat, and so how do I go about getting their endorsements? I went on the internet and I looked up who the Democratic Party is and who are the aldermen and committeemen and who are the power brokers.
Where Pakistanis or people of Pakistani origin can get together, toy up with ideas, reflect on each other, and see strategically where we need to go. I think strategy really means a lot. So I'm supposed to talk on art of lobbying. I think lobbying really starts from mobilization, even though it says lobbying, mobilization, and organizing yourself. I think it starts from mobilizing yourself, mobilizing your community, and that's what we did. I'll talk a little bit about what I did professionally and why I did what I did, but as a rule, we also did start mobilizing ourselves as a community in St. Louis.
My focus was always, even I was working for other employers, my focus was to get into my own business. From that time, from one company to another company, it took me 4 years to get to a final decision. It's the time to get into your own business. And I believe you're never late. For all you young students, young people, even older, you're never late. You can start whenever you want. Now, from there, the hurdles I faced when I started the business, I had 10 employees, and it was very hard to manage them. But now I have 250 employees, and it's very easy to manage. The reason behind is, as you know, is organizing is the main key of your success. If you organize yourself very well and focus, it will bring the success to you.
So the question about how do you get your issue on the radar screen, I have various rules for lobbying. I trained a lot of junior lobbyists when I was in the city. We had a kind of a constant flow of young, typically law students who came through our office. We trained as lobbyists, and they all went on to bigger and better things and made more money than I did. And but one rule I had, which applies here, is, and this is kind of harsh, but my first rule is nobody cares. And so I think that's very, very useful to remember when you go in and talk to a politician. If you have it in your head, nobody cares, and then you've got to make them care. You've got to recognize when you talk to a politician, after you talk to them, you know, the next guy comes in, and the next guy comes in, and the next guy comes in, and they get desensitized to people's issues and problems. So you bring your issue to them, you leave, the next person comes in and says, I need funding for people with diabetes. And the next person comes in and says, I need funding for people who are homeless. And the next person comes in and says, we need to solve this crisis. And so they get desensitized. So you need to make them care about your issue. So how do you make them care about your issue? Well, one is, and Dr. Butt touched on this, relationships. So developing a relationship with an elected official so that they know you, they know who you represent, they know that you know the subject matter you're talking about, they know that you're not going to lie to them or mislead them, so you develop a relationship and some trust, so A, they're willing to meet with you, and B, they're willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Today we are having first regional youth conference at the University of Illinois in Chicago, and this is after the first very successful such conference that was held in Washington DC on 27th of July this year on the guidance of Ambassador Hussein Haqqani. He has the vision that we should and we need to invest on the youth of Pakistan, Pakistani Americans community in USA, which has a great potential. Today we will have 4 thematic panel discussions, and those will be led by prominent Pakistanis who have made their mark and established career in their respective field. That will be followed by a town hall by the Ambassador Hussein Haqqani, who is in town. And we hope that today's message at the core of this meeting is that how our youth, that is the students and our young professionals, can get into the American mainstream and be noticeable and be more into the social and political scene of this great country, and also how they can put together this relationship better and stronger for the future.
I think the event went really well. I think it's the first step by the Consul General in Chicago and His Excellency the Ambassador, Mr. Haqqani. And it's really important that Pakistani Americans or Americans of Pakistani origin get involved in the community, in their cities, in their state, nationally. And I think this conference is just the first step in starting towards that goal.
I thought it was a great event. It was a great honor to be invited here to speak to the Pakistani group. It's a large group, growing group, interesting questions, and it was an eye-opener for me as a non-Pakistani to understand more about the Pakistani culture and issues, so I'm glad I got the chance to attend. Hope to be here next year.
It was very enlightening. All the panelists were wonderful. Though I come from that origin, but I still relearn a lot of things, new things, innovative things. I think it benefited community at large, and also it enhances our awareness about American and Pakistani American issues. A lot of youth participated, and I think they were thrilled about it. So I'm really, really honored to be part of it, and I hope to continue to have these kind of forums and replicate more forums.
This event highlights the efforts of the Pakistani students in the Midwest area, mostly concentrated in the Chicago area. Pakistan produces very intelligent people. There are 180 million Pakistanis in the world. And the fact of the matter is that we are not achieving our full potential in the United States.
The topic was embracing the American mainstream and how Pakistani Americans and American Pakistanis can do their best to gain that spark that they need to gain traction in U.S. politics and in politics abroad. It was an honor and privilege to have the ambassador, His Excellency Haqqani, to come in here and give his dream about what he thinks the Pakistani youth should do.
It's a very good event, and it caters to Pakistani students, and actually a lot of important lessons that we can learn from the distinguished guests that came here. So very happy to be here, and thank you.
The event, as we see, it has been it has quite significant participation from all walks of life, students and professionals. We think that the number of participants have exceeded our expectations, and this is one of the first events, so I hope to have a broader participation in the next set of events, inshallah.
ناظرین تو وقت ہے آپ کے بہت ہی مشہور اور معروف اور دلچسپ سیگمنٹ لوکل گلوبل. ناظرین آج کے لوکل گلوبل میں بہت کچھ شامل ہے. آئیے دیکھتے ہیں کہ آج ہمارے پروگرام ڈائریکٹر نے لوکل گلوبل میں کون کون سی رپورٹ شامل کی ہیں. امریکہ میں آباد پاکستانیوں نے اس بار نیا سال یکجہتی اور پرجوش طریقے سے منایا. لاس اینجلس میں کاروان بینڈ کے بینر تلے نہایت خوبصورت پروگرام ترتیب دیا گیا تھا جو ایک مقامی ریسٹورنٹ میں منایا گیا. جہاں پاکستانیوں اور اس کے علاوہ ایشیائی لوگوں نے بھی بڑی تعداد میں شرکت کی. اس موقع پہ یہاں میوزک ڈائریکٹر اونی اور گلوکارہ لینا بینجامن نے خوبصورت گانوں سے ایک بہترین ماحول پیدا کر دیا. امریکہ میں آباد پاکستانیوں کی ایک بڑی تعداد وہاں موجود تھی جنہوں نے پاکستان میں استحکام اور تبدیلی کے لیے دعائیں مانگیں اور اپنے خیالات کا اظہار کیا.
ہم لوگ یہاں جمع ہوئے ہیں آج نیو ایئرز ایو پہ، تو یہ خوشی کا موقع ہے. نیا سال بڑی امیدوں کے ساتھ آ رہا ہے.
نیو ایئر میسج یہ ہے کہ ہمارے تمام دوستوں کو، فیملی کے سارے ممبرز اور ہمارے پاکستان کو پراسپیرس، پیس اور جو ہے ترقی ہونی چاہیے.
جی نیا سال سب کو مبارک ہو، اور ہم سب یہاں پہ انجوائے کر رہے ہیں. سب کے لیے دعا کر رہے ہیں کہ 2012 میں اچھا سال نکلے ہم سب کے لیے.
ہاں جی، بس میرا بھی یہی پیغام ہے کہ نیا سال سب کو مبارک ہو، اور اسکوپ کی طرف سے ڈیفینیٹلی آپ کو نیا سال سب کو مبارک ہو.
جی ہمارا میسج ہے پاکستان کے سب لوگوں کے لیے کہ جی انشاءاللہ تعالیٰ 2012 بہت کامیاب سال گزرے گا پاکستان کے لیے.
اس موقع پہ بھرپور طریقے سے اور نہایت ہی جوش کے ساتھ یہ سال منایا اور 2011 کو خیر باد کہا. ڈیلس میں امریکی مسلم فزیشین ایسوسی ایشن کی شاندار تقریب کا اہتمام کیا. امانہ ڈاکٹروں کی وہ تنظیم ہے جو تمام مسلم ڈاکٹروں کی ترجمانی کرتی ہے. اس کے بینر تلے بہت سارے ویلفیئر کے کام سر انجام دیے جاتے ہیں. اس ڈیلس کی اس پروقار تقریب میں لوگوں کی ایک بڑی تعداد نے شرکت کی. اس موقع پہ میڈیکل ایجوکیشن پر سیمینار بھی ہوئے اور تقریروں کا سلسلہ بھی جاری رہا. یاد رہے مسلم ڈاکٹرز کی اس تنظیم کے ذریعے نئے آنے والے ڈاکٹروں کی ترجمانی بھی کی جاتی ہے. آئیے دیکھتے ہیں کہ ناہید اور انجم نے کیا رپورٹ ڈیلس سے بھیجی ہے. ملاحظہ فرمائیے یہ رپورٹ.
السلام علیکم ناظرین، میں ہوں آپ کی بیورو چیف ڈیلس سے انجم انور، اور کیمرہ مین اتیش کے ساتھ آج میں آپ یہ ایمانا کا خاص پروگرام جو آج ہو رہا ہے ڈیلس میں کور کروں گی. اور اس وقت میرے ساتھ ہیں ایمانا کے کرنٹ پریزیڈنٹ ڈاکٹر محمد اشرف، جو کہ جارجیا سے ہیں اور ڈیلس آئے ہوئے ہیں اس ایونٹ کے لیے. تو آئیے ان سے بات چیت کرتے ہیں وداؤٹ فردر ڈیلے کہ وہ اس آرگنائزیشن کے بارے میں ہمیں کیا بتاتے ہیں.
It is the Islamic Medical Association of North America. This organization was started in 1967. It has 44 years of history of organizing the efforts of Muslim physicians in North America, really to come together, organize, and give back to the world. We have many medical programs that we sponsor all over and through the United States. We have medical conventions that we travel all over the world. To mention a few places that we went to include Turkey, Morocco, Iran, China. And also we focus on medical relief. We bring medical relief all the way from New Orleans to Gaza. We bring medical relief all the way from Iraq to Sudan. We have missions and efforts both in Turkey. We have efforts also in Egypt, in the floods in Pakistan, in the Kashmir earthquake. So the organization have a long history of medical relief and efforts all over the world and in the United States.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for covering our event. I think Dr. Al-Shruf gave a little bit of introduction. I have been involved with IMANA for almost 20 years. And the IMANA organization is an organization of multi-ethnic medical doctors and allied health professionals. And we do a lot of charity work within the country and outside the country.
Thank you for having me. Well, I'm the vice president of IMANA, but what I really am active in is I'm the chairman of the medical relief committee. So alhamdulillah جو ہے ایمانا کا کئی لوگ جانتے ہیں جب پاکستان میں فلڈز ہوئے تھے تو ہماری ٹیمز وہاں تھیں. ہم نے آلموسٹ اب 2 سال ہمارے ہو چکے پاکستان میں. over $1 million we've spent in Pakistan on relief efforts.
It was the first time a president, sitting president, called the grassroots people. Before that, no president has ever asked the grassroots people to join. So that was the most memorable thing I had experienced. Of course, at that time the organization was still very small. And I must tell you one thing for Dallas residents, that in 1979 I had the annual function, first time, of the Islamic Medical Association in Dallas.
In 1979.
1979.
And tell me, how many people were there in Dallas back in 1979?
At that time, we had about 55 attendees.
I'd like to welcome you to the National IMANA meeting that we're having here today. I'd like to start with saying I'm very proud of Dallas. We've had 4 or 5 different events in Dallas. I'd like to introduce the president of IMANA, Dr. Mohammed Al-Shroof.
Brothers and sisters, dear colleagues and mentors, dear IMANA members and hopefully future IMANA members, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you to this evening with IMANA, the Islamic Medical Association of North America. This organization was born 44 years ago in 1967, and it evolved over the last 44 years from a get-together organization started by a few Muslim physicians to a professional organization that carries CME and education programs and medical conventions all through North America and all over the world. IMANA had hosted different evenings and different CME programs and conventions in different cities of North America and in different Muslim countries and different countries all over the world.
We must band together. Whether you are from Timbuktu, and you have an exhibit out there from Timbuktu today, or you are from Dallas. Every single Muslim physician need to look into this and be part of it. It's our brotherhood of Muslim physicians that we can project, not only here in America, we have been projecting this all over the active committees we have are CME. You all doctors know CME, what it means, continuing medical education, and we do hold regular meetings where we offer CME presentations and CME credits. Then we have ethics committee, public health committee, student residence committee, and there are ad hoc committees based on the project.
I was asked to talk to you about opportunities about volunteerism. As you can see from Ismail's and Dr. Mir's presentation, there are certainly opportunities in the relief work that we can use volunteers, both physicians and other types of healthcare providers. But opportunities for volunteerism could be in the local population in Dallas here.
On behalf of IMANA, I just want to say thank you for everyone coming here, for all your support, for the Dallas community, for coming to hear about IMANA, to support our event. We're very, very grateful, and we can't do it without you, so thank you.
So we are supporting a lot of medical events and physicians. We bring them on our program where they convey the message to the community people. If they are doing some voluntary work, or if they are raising some funds for the community, or they are helping in raising funds back home. So we always make it a point of Pakistan to bring those people on the platform, make people aware of the services which they are rendering. So if any of you think that your contribution to Safir Pakistan can make a difference and make you prominent in the community with respect to the services you are providing to your people, please do let us know. And Safir Pakistan is basically being aired for almost 15 years on GeoTV. And we are basically doing, we are the official media partner for IMANA also. We are supporting them for the last 4 years, the IMANA, and we are doing all their marketing campaign as far as IMANA is concerned. We are supporting CME, the continuing medical education also, and platform, and share your expertise skills with our people as well.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट अंजुम और सफ़ीर पाकिस्तान में आपको खुशामदीद कहती हूं। हमारा ये सेगमेंट जो हर हफ्ते आपकी खिदमत में पेश होता है, इसका नाम है लीगली करेक्ट, और मेरे साथ हमारे डैलस के वेल नोन अटर्नी मिस्टर नईम हारून साकिया साथ देते हैं मेरा। बगैर टाइम ज़ाया किए हुए अगर आपकी इजाज़त हो तो मैं आपसे सवाल करूं?
Go ahead, please.
I work for the city government. I was recently terminated.
Okay.
Oh, not good, huh? My supervisor stated that my performance was below standard. I feel like I was discriminated against. What can I do?
If you have a strong belief that you face discrimination, then the starting point would be for you to file a complaint with Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC. Once you file that complaint, then they send a letter to the employer alleging that this is what you feel, and they investigate it. As a result of their investigation, if they find that there is a reason to believe that there was discrimination, then either they will have the employer settle it with you, or if the employer refuses it, then they will give you a letter which they call right to sue letter. At that time, you can go ahead and proceed with the legal action against your employer. अगर आपके ख़िलाफ़ कोई इस तरह की बात हुई है कि आपकी रंग, नस्ल, ज़बान, नेशनल ओरिजिन या आपकी तालीम या आपके बैकग्राउंड या आपके सोशल ग्रुप से, किसी ख़ास सोशल ग्रुप से ताल्लुक़ रखने की बुनियाद पे आपके ख़िलाफ़ किसी तरह का एक्शन लिया गया है, चाहे वो ऐसी सूरत में हो कि आपको फ़ायर किया गया उस वजह से जो कि वजह नहीं थी हकीकतन, लेकिन उसको वजह बनाया गया, या आपको प्रमोशन डिनाई किया गया, या आपका वर्क एनवायरनमेंट जो है वो उसको आपके ख़िलाफ़ इस्तेमाल किया गया, उसको हॉस्टाइल बनाया गया, या आपको किसी भी तरह से तंग किया गया ताकि आप उस जॉब को छोड़ के चले जाएं, तो ऐसी सूरत में आपके पास ये हक़ मौजूद है कि आप इक्वल एम्प्लॉयमेंट कमीशन के साथ अपनी कंप्लेंट फ़ाइल करें। वो उसको इन्वेस्टिगेट करेंगे। अगर उन्हें इस बात का अंदाज़ा हुआ कि यहाँ कोई वजह हो सकती है डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की, तो वो आपको एक लेटर इशू करेंगे जिसे राइट टू सू लेटर कहते हैं। जब तक वो लेटर आपके हाथ में ना आए आप कानूनी कार्रवाई नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन एक दफ़ा जब वो लेटर आपके हाथ में आ जाए तो आपके पास बड़ा मुख्तसर वक्त होता है जिसमें आपको मुकदमा दर्ज करना होता है फ़ेडरल कोर्ट के अंदर अपने एम्प्लॉयर के ख़िलाफ़। और इसमें आप ये ध्यान में रखिए कि जब आपके ख़िलाफ़ इस तरह का कोई एक्शन हो और आपने शिकायत की और फिर आपको राइट टू सू लेटर मिला, तो इसमें वक्त बड़ा इम्पॉर्टेंट है। अगर आपने वो जो मुख्तसर वक्त है जो कि ख़त में लिखा होगा, जो आमतौर से 60 डेज़ होता है, उसमें अगर आपने मुकदमा दर्ज ना किया तो फिर आप अपने हुकूक खो बैठेंगे। तो अगर ऐसी सिचुएशन है तो पहला काम शिकायत, उसकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन में पूरी तरह से मदद, और उसके बाद जब आपको राइट टू सू लेटर मिल जाए तो फिर मुकदमा।
बहुत शुक्रिया, थैंक यू सो मच कि आपने इतने अच्छे तरीके से इसको एक्सप्लेन किया। तो आपको भी ऐसी अगर कोई सिचुएशन है तो कॉल कर सकते हैं इनको, मैं इनका नंबर आपको दे देती हूँ। इट इज़ 310-734-6300, या आप 972-359-9274 पर भी कॉल कर सकते हैं। इनका ईमेल एड्रेस जो है वो आपको स्क्रीन से मिल जाएगा, इनकी वेबसाइट पे भी आप जा सकते हैं, स्क्रीन के ऊपर आपको नज़र आ जाएगी। आई वर्क फॉर अ लार्ज बैंक. I have been with them for more than 10 years. Recently, there was an opening for a management position. I felt I was qualified and therefore applied for the position. However, I was denied promotion, but my male coworker with less experience was promoted. I think I was discriminated against because I am a woman. What can I do?
Oh. Yeah, even in this day and age that happens.
हालांकि आदमी एडमिट नहीं करते वैसे, है ना?
Well, उनसे एडमिट कराया जा सकता है।
Okay.
If you are facing gender discrimination and you feel that you are qualified for the position but you are denied promotion and you feel strongly that it was solely because of your gender, then you, of course, like any other basis for discrimination, you can file a lawsuit against your employer. But the distinction here is that if your discrimination, the one you face, is because of your gender, you don't have to go through the EEOC process. You don't have to file a complaint with them. If you face discrimination based on your gender, you can immediately file a lawsuit against your employer. Usually employers, especially large employers, established employers, may have a formal process through which you will go through if you feel that you have been discriminated against. If there is such process, please go ahead and follow that process. If you need help of an attorney in that process, you can certainly call us. However, if you feel that there is no such process or you're not getting anywhere following that process, then you have the doors open for your grievances to be addressed in the federal court, and that's something which you can do without going through EEOC process. So if your discrimination basis is your gender, you have multiple options available.
Thank you again. Or I have a question regarding this. Gender discrimination, is it only women or vice versa?
It's either way. It's either way.
Okay. So اگر ایک عورت کسی آدمی کے خلاف بھی discrimination کرتی ہے تو the process is the same and
it's reverse discrimination.
حالانکہ عورتیں کیوں discrimination کریں گی؟
Well, you never know. Power does not know gender.
Okay.
If you have authority and power and you feel like misusing it, it doesn't matter whether you are a woman or a man. You can go ahead and misuse it.
ایک اور سوال ہے جو کہ میرا خیال ہے آج کے سیگمنٹ کا آخری سوال ہوگا کیونکہ اس کے بعد ٹائم نہیں بچتا. If I file a complaint against my employer for discrimination, can I lose my job? And I think it's a very good question. Lots of people probably wonder about that,
absolutely.
right?
And that is usually the fear. Very good question, and obviously that's always something in the back of somebody's mind when they are planning or thinking about filing a complaint based on their civil right violations against their employer. ذہن میں یہ رکھیے کہ جب آپ اس طرح کی کوئی کمپلینٹ فائل کرتے ہیں تو پھر امپلائر آپ کے خلاف کوئی جسے ریٹیلیٹیو ری ایکشن کہتے ہیں یا کوئی انتقامی کارروائی جسے کہتے ہیں وہ نہیں کر سکتا. آپ کو لاء میں اس کا پروٹیکشن حاصل ہے. تو اگر آپ سمجھتے ہیں کہ آپ کے خلاف ڈسکرمنیشن ہوئی ہے اور آپ کمپلینٹ فائل کرنا چاہیں گے تو یہ بات ذہن سے نکال دیجئے کہ اس کمپلینٹ کی بنیاد کو یا اس کمپلینٹ کو بنیاد بنا کے امپلائر آپ کے خلاف کوئی انتقامی کارروائی کر سکے, کیونکہ اگر وہ ایسا کچھ کرتے ہیں تو وہ پھر اس کے بھی ذمہ دار ہو جائیں گے اور جو لا سوٹ آپ ان کے خلاف فائل کریں گے وہ اس ایکشن کو بھی آپ بنیاد بنا سکتے ہیں ان سے کمپنسیشن لینے کے لیے. تو اگر تو کوئی اور وجہ ہے تو وہ پھر ایک الگ سچویشن ہے, لیکن صرف اس بنیاد پہ کہ آپ نے ان کے خلاف شکایت فائل کی ہے EEOC کے ساتھ یا رائٹ ٹو سو لیٹر ملنے کے بعد آپ نے فیڈرل کورٹ میں ان کے خلاف کیس فائل کیا ہے یا جینڈر ڈسکرمنیشن بیسس پہ آپ نے ڈائریکٹلی فیڈرل کورٹ میں ان کے خلاف کیس فائل کیا ہے, وہ آپ کے خلاف کوئی انتقامی کارروائی نہیں کر سکتے.
تھینک یو, بہت شکریہ کہ آپ نے ہمارے سوال کا جواب دیا. اور میں سمجھتی ہوں کہ یہ سوال کافی سارے لوگ obviously کام تو ہر ایک کرتا ہے اور کئی لوگوں کو یہ چیز پیش آتی ہے and they have this they wonder about it کہ اگر میں یہ کروں تو میری جاب تو نہیں لوز ہو جائے گی, which is a big concern. obviously جاب سب کو چاہیے اور اس اکانومی میں زیادہ چاہیے کیونکہ جاب ہے نہیں اویلیبل. تو تھینک یو فار آنسرنگ دس کوشچن. نمبر ہے 310-734-6300 یا 9723599274 پر. ان کو ای میل بھی آپ کر سکتے ہیں یا ان کی ویب سائٹ پہ بھی جا کے انفارمیشن حاصل کر سکتے ہیں جو بھی آپ کے سوالات جوابات ہیں. اس کے ساتھ ہی ناظرین آج کے سیگمنٹ میں جو کہ لیگلی کریکٹ کا سیگمنٹ ہے, ہر ویکینڈ پہ آپ کے ساتھ 10 منٹ کے لیے پروگرام سفیر پاکستان میں ہم اس کو ڈالتے ہیں اور یہ آپ کی فرمائش پہ اور آپ کے سوالات کی وجہ سے اس کو شروع کیا انہوں نے, کیونکہ لوگ چاہتے تھے کہ ایسا کوئی سیگمنٹ ہو جس سے کہ لوگوں کو فائدہ ملے, تو انہوں نے یہ شروع کیا. بہرحال تھینک یو سو مچ ساکر صاحب فار بینگ ود اس اینڈ یو ہیو اے نائس اینڈ سیف ویک. اگلے ویک آپ سے انشاءاللہ پھر ملاقات ہوگی. ناظرین اس کے ساتھ انجم کو بھی اجازت دیں, ہم آپ سے اگلے ویک پھر ملیں گے. خدا حافظ, ٹیک کیئر.
Advanced Microsystems, one of the largest authorized Apple sales and service centers in Southern California, invites you to visit our store for everyday low prices. We carry a complete line of Apple products, including iPods, iPads, laptops, and desktops. We also offer a huge inventory of third-party accessories. Our service department offers the quickest turnaround time for all Apple product repairs, upgrades, and data recovery, including Apple Care servicing, all without an appointment. Find us on the corner of Hawthorne Boulevard and Emerald Street in Torrance.
We all like something special. He likes it personal. He likes a private space. He prefers it laid back. She likes a bedtime story. He likes to dream of his own. How would you like to fly with the best? Etihad Airways, the world's leading airline.
ناظرین آپ دیکھ رہے تھے اپنے پسندیدہ پروگرام سفیر پاکستان، آپ کی آواز اور آپ کی پہچان. ہمیں اپنے مشوروں سے نوازتے رہیے. آپ کے مشورے بڑے کارآمد اور اہم ہوتے ہیں اور ہم ان کو پروگرام میں شامل کرتے ہیں اور ان کو توجہ دیتے ہیں اور ان کو امپورٹنس بھی دیتے ہیں. ناظرین، سال ختم ہوا. پچھلے سال بہت کچھ ہوا ہے. ہم ایک ایسی رپورٹ مرتب کریں کہ ہم نے سال بھر سفیر پاکستان نے کیا کچھ کیا آپ کے لیے. انشاءاللہ وہ آنے والے پروگرام میں ہم پیش کریں گے. ناظرین، کے ساتھ ہی آپ کا میزبان وقار علی خان آپ سے اجازت چاہے گا. اللہ حافظ. پاکستان پائندہ باد.